and welcome to Fahudi Adventures. It's Fahad here again, and today, after 1 year anniversary of Sabadell, here I am again back in Sabadell. So this is Sabadell Central Station. That's where I've come, and we had quite a bit of views of our Sabadell video, and I thought we should do some justice and show a little bit more on a 1 year anniversary. If you're wondering where Thomas is around. He's working. Unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I had to finish my work early, which means that I'm not working these days and I can make more videos, which is amazing. I'll tell you a little bit more about my work also, but first let's explore Sabadell. It's been almost 1 year I've been living in Barcelona region, not exactly in the city of Barcelona, in Terrassa, which is like a direct train from Sabadell. And I'm going to have to be honest with you, I haven't been able to make many videos, or we haven't been able to make many videos. The reason being because my work was very hard and I didn't quite like the work. There was a lot of, I would say, toxicity, a lot of nepotism and whatever. So I decided to take a break, and I thought, okay, it would be good to get back on the channel and introduce people of the life here in Barcelona. Living in Barcelona has been really pleasant. The people are really nice. The culture is really nice. And best of all, the food is really, really amazing in Barcelona city. Living in Sabadell or Terrassa, I guess, is a bit different. In Terrassa, I can say the food is even cheaper, but less variety of food. Where I'm walking right now is the center of Sabadell. My aim is to find a tower, which is quite unique in Sabadell. Now, if you want to come to Sabadell, it's very quick. You just need to take a train, Renfe or FGC. They come here. It takes about 45 minutes, 40 minutes. It's 2 zones, and it's a beautiful city. Unlike center Barcelona, there are hardly, or if any, tourists. So if you want to escape and really see the culture, it's the place to be. Look at this beautiful building here in Sabadell. Exactly 1 year ago we made the video, and a lot of people who live in Sabadell, they told us we had to cover a few places. I'm gonna try and show you the 3 more cool places in Sabadell to see if you're a tourist. Yeah, and in terms of what my plans are to continue the videos, show you Europe, and more importantly Spain. If you have any questions about living here, I'll make more videos of that too. So I'm back, guys. Okay, so the first landmark that I'm taking you to in Sabadell is called the Tower of Water, El Torre de Agua. And why it is so important for Sabadell? Because in the early 1900s, Sabadell became a city very well industrialized, and there was an explosion in population. So they built a water tower. This is how exactly the water tower looked. They just didn't want to build like any old random water tower. They built a really good looking water tower. So it's a bit of a mix of modern architecture with water tower. It kind of retired in the 1900s later, I think in the 1960s if I'm not wrong, but in the early 1900s when the city exploded with population, this provided water for the city. And back then Sabadell was known as the Manchester, the industrial capital of Catalonia. So here we are, really beautiful building. This is the first landmark that I think is worth visiting and having a look around. From Pakistan originally, I think that water towers are something that you're very used to. From Pakistan you see, but or in other countries as well. So for me it's quite beautiful for a water tower. I don't think I've ever seen such a beautiful water tower. It's a beautiful piece of art, I would say. It's really beautiful, and if you're a fan of water towers, you know where to come. And now, as we move along, I'm going to take you to the next really cool spot of Sabadell. I'm not going to talk about it until we get there, so let's go there. Living in Terrassa and Sabadell, you see a lot of towers. They are like these chimneys for factories. So I'm on my way to another landmark in Sabadell, but I just wanted to show you a little bit of the streets here in Sabadell, which are quite similar to the streets in Terrassa. And there's a lot of landmarks like these. And I was watching a video a few days ago which said that if you really want to experience and travel, maybe it's a good idea to travel as an anthropologist, which is to see the culture around. And there's no better way to walk around the streets where people live. They live their daily lives. As you can see, I don't know if you can see in the video, but there's a lot of people walking the streets, coming back from work, because it's about around 6 o'clock. Doesn't feel like it because it's a summer day in Barcelona or in Spain, and the sun sets around 9:30 p.m. And then you find houses like these, so beautiful with the window like that. There is a certain charm in this region of Spain with summer. So a bit of more of an update on my life. So the reason why I left my work was also because of a lot of stress, a lot of overworking. So when people comment that working in Spain is hard, it definitely is hard. There's a lot of expectation and sometimes unrealistic. And sometimes no matter what you do, your work is never considered good, which is a sad reality too. Anyhow, moving on, look at these beautiful houses. Now I've reached my second landmark that is a surprise landmark in Sabadell, which is Church of St. Oleguer. Now, why it's so special? Because it looks Romanesque, but look at the architecture first. This church was built as a homage to St. Oleguer, who was the saint of Barcelona in the 1000s, well, 1000 something. And this church, believe it or not, with this beautiful architecture, was only built in 1961. Can you believe it? That's why this church is so special. Unfortunately, it's closed, but inside of the church is just regular architecture of a Catholic church, but outside is where the beauty stands. This church is not very old, I guess 50 years or so, but it has been made and designed in a way that it reminisces old times or Roman times. And if you're a fan of modern art, this church is where you must come in Sabadell. It looks very beautiful, and I can't believe that it's in the middle of a suburb. What a beautiful piece of art. And look at the bells, church bells. They look amazing. How beautiful this church is. Right in the middle of Sabadell, and it's from 1960. Nowhere you find 1960 architecture so beautiful and representing medieval architecture. It's because of a homage to the saints. If you see the doors here, how beautifully it's done. And they say that it's more beautiful from the outside than it is from the inside. Fun fact about this church is that it was built as a neighborhood project, and it's a great landmark of Sabadell. I can't believe it that it was actually built in 1961. So that was the second landmark that I wanted to show you in Sabadell. So there are hidden secrets in Sabadell that you should know, and I'm glad to be able to show you. So going back to why I quit my job. I guess I was not really very happy, and I didn't see much future there. Also, there were a lot of problems. And increasingly, as I'm getting older, I'm realizing I'm not really interested in office gossip, unnecessary competition. So I decided to quit also. One of the reasons why I think very differently now is because I feel like, having lived in 3 or 4 countries, having experienced in many different places, I feel like our life is an experience, and we should really be in this experience if we are enjoying this experience. So I want to create an experience which is beautiful, and hence I decided to walk away. And so saying that job helped me a lot in learning Spanish. I'm fluent in Spanish now, which is very good. And I made some good friends at work, which is amazing. And I'm now looking forward to my next adventures, which is making more videos with you guys, and also finding different kind of work that I will be more happy in. So let's go to the next landmark, the landmark that we took you last time as well, but with a very different view and angle of Sabadell. And here I am in the third spot, which is very important for Sabadell, and is Parc de Catalunya. So behind the high-rise buildings is this lake, which is artificial, and we came here and had a little bit of boating experience. And to anyone, it looks like just a park by the high rises, maybe in New York or something. But there is more to this park, and there is a lot of history, and that's why it's so important and such a huge landmark of Sabadell. 1929, 2 architects, I think I'm just reading their name, Joseph Renom and Joachim Meumannick. They dreamt of this park. They wanted a little bit of green space here in the center of Sabadell. Initially, there was a lot of concrete, and there was this hectare of land, I think, that they wanted it to be turned into a park, which didn't quite happen. So there was a bit of land near the city of Sabadell, but the 1970s, the empty land was a massive rural patch right in the middle of a heavy industrial urban sprawl. And in 1977, local authorities approved a massive real estate development plan to build 3,300 residential apartments in this park area, which made the locals very furious. And they said that they didn't want or didn't accept this. So 75 local civic and neighborhood organizations teamed up to legally fight the housing plan that they were going to build. And in 1979, the citizens tried to organize a massive peaceful popular tree planting on the hills to claim the land for the public. And obviously it was forbidden. The governor civil actually deemed the protest illegal and sent the police to physically block the citizens from planting the trees. So I said it wrong, 3,300, but it's actually much smaller. It was 43 hectare park. What actually happened was in 1979, when Spain had its first elected government, they approved for the park. And what we see is a park which is based on a lot of civic struggle. Result, this park came about. So this park has a lot of significance for the people of Sabadell, because it came about with a lot of civic protests and a lot of organizations working towards having green space next to concrete space. That is why with the tall buildings, there is a nice little park right next to this beautiful small city next to Barcelona, that if you decide to visit. This time we also covered this park and we came here, but we didn't touch on the history, which is quite important. So they needed a bit of green space, which is what it is. It's a bit of a hill, so you get a beautiful view, which is where we're gonna go and have a look. So what they didn't want is maybe another Corte Inglés. There is a Corte Inglés, which doesn't exist in Terrassa, but there is one in Sabadell, and some other high-rise buildings. So that's the history of the park. And Parc de Catalunya is known to be a local landmark that I wanted you to have a look at it. I got confused with the 33,000. Actually, that was 3,300. But the actual hectares of the land is only 43. So that's where the magic happens. This is the third landmark. And going back to my work, I think what I've realized is that I would like to focus more on my life, be more happy, and that's what I want people to do as well, who are watching our videos for the adventures, to focus on your life and be happy. The park is also known as an open-air museum. As you can see, statue right there. It's a bit far, but it's a beautiful open space up on a hill. Green space to walk around and soak in the summer sun. If you want a 360 degrees view of Sabadell, from here you can see it. Let me turn around the camera. That's a 360 degrees view of the beautiful city of Sabadell. And with that, I hope you enjoyed my video. I know Thomas is not around because he's working, but he said he will join for some other videos. And I hope you keep supporting the channel. It's been a while, we didn't upload much videos, but we're starting to do that and need your support. Thank you so much for watching For the Adventures, and if you like this video, please make sure to comment, hit the like button, and make sure to subscribe. Thank you, and until next video, bye bye.